This week on Panhandle. Get an inside look at the home run success of Amarillo's new AA baseball team. And hear an exclusive version of the Soddies theme song. All of this right now on Panhandle PBS, as we tell the stories of the Texas Panhandle.
Baseball is America's sport. And it's that way because it was invented here, but also because we've all partaken in it, whether it's girls softball, whether it's Little League baseball, whether it's high school sports, even throwing in the backyard with our parents. I'm Tony Enzer, President and General Manager of your Amarillo Sod Poodles Baseball Club. Basically, I was a college athlete. I was playing baseball, and injuries kind of took the physical side of things away from me. A buddy of mine, his dad was the general manager of the Chattanooga Lookouts, and they had an opening for a job on the grounds crew. So that was mid 80s, and I went out there for my first day on the grounds crew. Been working all day. All of a sudden, they open the gates. You smell the hot dogs, the popcorn, the people piling in, and I fell in love with the sport, and I've been doing it ever since.
I grew up a big Mets fan in New York, and I would go to Shea Stadium as a kid, and I would go in high school alone. I bet I was the only kid in my high school going to Shea Stadium on the train alone and watching games, and I had an earbud in listening to Howie Rose and Gary Cohen, and that's where my love for the game really started. I'm Sam Levitt. I am the Director of Broadcasting for the Amarillo Sod Poodles, also known as the voice of the Sod Poodles. You know what? It's, I say they're my number one team is the Sod Poodles. Right now, my number two team is the Padres because we have to pay a lot of attention to them. But I always keep an eye on the Mets and what they're doing. So I think it's okay to keep your eye on different teams.
Love for baseball definitely started at a young age. It's the sport I always loved playing the most and was certainly found the most promise in. My name is Travis Radke. I'm a left-handed pitcher in the San Diego Padres organization. I'm currently stationed here at the AA affiliate with the Amarillo Sod Poodles. I got started actually about 6 months earlier than normal when I was 4.5 years old, playing a little bit of winter ball with my dad. And he brought me up and helped me out through a lot of it, and basically told me, go after it as long as you can, follow your dreams, and don't let anybody else tell you can't.
Affiliated baseball is amazing, which is obviously what the Sod Poodles are, because you get to see that growth. You get to see that kid sign out of high school or his first year out of college, and you get to see him grow and mature, and we nurture that talent in order to get those guys to the big league level. That's why it's called a farm system, because they are sent down on the farm and they grow within the system to finally get up to the big leagues where all that talent is harvested.
In the game of baseball, it's always about getting to the next level, and there's always going to be challenges and adversity and people saying, oh, you can't do this or you can't do that, or you're good here but not here, and that never changes no matter how high you get up. So you've got to be able to fight through that. I was fortunate enough to be drafted by the Padres in 2014 out of the University of Portland. Been playing with them ever since.
So when a kid signs out of high school or college, he goes to short season in the Padres system. And if he does well there, he'll go up to rookie level. If he does well there, he'll go up to high A. If he does well there, he'll go up to AA, AAA, and on in the major leagues. So by the time a player gets to Amarillo, he's been a professional athlete for some of them 2 to 3, 4 years.
I think the really cool thing about the Sod Poodles, on top of the new stadium and a new minor league city and all the excitement, is that you're seeing the future stars of tomorrow here today. You're seeing future big leaguers, future all-stars, maybe even a future Hall of Famer. And when those big league guys come down, whether it's at home or on the road, it's special.
So I did get surgery back in 2016. It pretty much took me out of that year, and kind of been grinding my way back to move up as high as possible throughout the minor league system. Was fortunate enough to have a really good season last year and the year before, and this year ended up breaking with our high A affiliate in Lake Elsinore, California, and after about 4 games there, made my chance to get up here into AA and enjoyed my experience ever since.
So what happens at the major league level if a player gets injured? It could be an injury, it could be He's just needs some time down in the minor leagues. You can't just have an injury, do your rehab, and then all of a sudden step into a major league ballpark and perform well. By and large, most of them need that extra time. So they need to see 95 to 100 miles an hour on a 3, 4, 5 game basis just to get that baseball rhythm back. A lot of times you'll find a hitter, for instance, may have a hole in his swing. And rather than work on that hole in his swing, if it's a slider on the outside part of the plate, they'll send him down here to work on that specific detail. Or it may be fielding, or it may be pitching. Whatever the detail is, they will send that player down to the minors because it's a lot easier for him to do it under the microscope of minor league baseball than to do it under the microscope of Major League Baseball. The science of the baseball field, of all the construction that has gone on, all the rebar, all the concrete, all the technology side of things, one of the more intricate things in a ballpark is that field, because that's the player's office. The clubhouse is their home away from home. They have a clubhouse manager who's basically their mom and their dad who takes care of them when they're here. But when they come out of that tunnel, they're going to work. They need to be perfect. They need to be working. The height of the grass, we try to keep the grass at 5/8 of an inch. Different growing periods and weather affect all that. You're keeping moisture in the infield. That's not done very easily, depending on the heat of the day and the wind that's out there. So when I say things are constantly changing, they're literally changing by the hour. To everything from the pitcher's mounds, the slope, it has to be perfect. Matter of fact, Major League Baseball has facility standards that we have to meet on that. So the bases have to be this far apart exactly. The mound has to be sloped exactly. And that was done really to hold everybody accountable, to make sure that when these guys are going from city to city, they're playing on the same basic structure. We have a tremendous grounds crew. They do an amazing job of making that field the best workplace environment these guys can possibly have. Because if there's a bad hop out there, if there's one stone in the infield, that baseball will find it. And it will take a bad hop, and it could injure a player, or certainly could affect the game by causing an error that would allow a run to score. This is one of the most modern, high-tech ballparks in the country. It is. I mean, by far, I think it's one of the top ones in the country. We have 142 televisions in the ballpark. There are 108 beer taps in the ballpark. The architects, Populous, and our builders, Western Hunt, did an amazing job, along with our partners at the city, to create a social environment. The patios on the suites, that's not done in any other ballpark. There's a couple ballparks that have 1 or 2 patios, but most of them are that tiered structure where you have 10 seats out on the balcony, and only about 5 guys my size can actually fit out there. We have great hospitality areas down on the field where you are literally in the field. The other homestand, about a week ago, I saw a player going into the patio area. So literally, he could grab a bite of hot dog and catch the ball at the same time. You're that close to the field. So you have coterie suites up in the concourse. You have 4 of those. You have 6 dugout suites right behind home plate. The dugout suites are unique in the fact that the entire area behind home plate is for our fans. Again, there's a couple ballparks that have a couple dugout suites, but no one in the country has dugout to dugout suite accessibility. And when I say that you're down there close to the field, you're 30 feet from the net to home plate. And again, you can hear the ball whistle through the air. You can see the speed of it. You can see the break of it. But the one thing I really love, probably most about this ballpark, is the 360 walking track. So you may have seats over here, but the views from everywhere in the ballpark, you can capture every single one of them. I have a lot of season ticket holders that have great seats over here, but I see them out by bar 352 or out in center field and right field catching the cityscape. The unique thing about bar 352 and where the name came from was from the tip of home plate, it's 352 feet to the Coors Light tap at bar 352. So yes, there are many balls that are hit 352, some are hit more. We've had many fly over the bar. We've had some fly over the scoreboard. They're told to pay attention to the game because and that's right down the left field line. So you're going to have a lot of home runs down there.
If I had to duck, we've had a couple of foul balls come pretty close. None in my radio booth. I think we had one go to the suite to the right of the writers area, and then we had one hit the top of the window in the visiting radio booth. But I thought we would have more close calls because of the angle the press box is at here on the first base side. But so far, we have not had anyone come close. So I'm ready. I don't have a glove up here, but comes up here, I'm ready to make a play. And then hopefully they'll sign me, get me at shortstop.
When you look at a ballpark, you have to think of it almost like a restaurant experience. So we're averaging 6,000 people a game. I don't know of too many other restaurants in town that are feeding 6,000 people within a 3-hour period. We have a 3-pound hamburger. So you can actually slice that thing up and have it for a family of 5. We have all the brats and the hots and the popcorn and the nachos. Speaking of nachos, we have a nacho and a helmet. It's a massive, it's a full-size adult helmet that is full of nachos, cheese, all your different vegetables and things that you need, different meats and everything else. But we ordered 3,000 of those helmets to begin the season, thinking that would get us through most of the season. We ran out of those helmets in the first 7 days.
My dad actually got to visit me only a couple weeks ago, so it was a really cool experience to have him here, and he couldn't believe the fans and the town. And I mean, whether we were going out to dinner, or we were at the hotel, or we were with an Uber driver, everybody could not stop talking about the Sod Poodles and how excited they are and how many games they go to. And I also had the chance to have my wife out here as well, and she said the same thing. And they've had the privilege of getting to come watch me play a lot and see a lot of different ballparks, and they were really impressed with everything that they've done here.
When we were putting this together, I remember traveling to Kansas City, to Populous, where our architects are located. And I said, I've been to a lot of parks. I've had many parks that I've run. The best park I've ever seen from a sound system standpoint is not a baseball park. It's Disney World. So I said, within our budget, can we create that theme of a Disney World park where you go every step you take, you're being picked up by sound everywhere. And they did it. Henderson was actually our architect on the sound system portion of things, and they did a great job. So you don't miss anything in this ballpark. You're constantly engaged. One thing that people don't like is when they have to get to the ballpark and wait in line, because if you're in line, you're missing part of the game. Now, we do have closed circuit TV at every concession stand, so you're not going to miss the game, but you're going to miss that live feel. But we've worked really hard to create enough points of sale within the ballpark where people don't have to wait in line.
My job is to paint a picture of what's going on. So that's the players, the atmosphere, the smell of the hot dogs, the crack of the bat, the way the grass looks, the way the skyline looks here in the Panhandle. You want to bring people into the game so when they're listening on the radio, when they're watching on TV, they feel like they're there and they feel like they're a part of it. And I think part of my job is to create this special connection, especially here in the inaugural season of this team. It's a hard but also exciting and challenging journey all in one. I bounce around a lot. I've lived in St. Louis, I've lived in Corpus Christi, Texas, I've lived here. In the off seasons, I live somewhere else, and there's a lot of uncertainty that comes with it, really season by season. As you try to move up, as you try to continue to develop and figure things out. And it's like any business, you're trying to move up. The difference is in sports broadcasting, it can take you literally anywhere.
It's a very unique experience. Minor League Baseball is exciting, fun, and torturous all at the same time. But that's why you're here, that's why you love it. It's a very unique job description where you can basically be fired at any time for any reason, and you can be promoted or demoted for any reason. And suddenly have a whole new town and a whole new family and a whole new group of friends, and you've got to learn to acclimate quickly. But the game never changes no matter where you're at.
A lot of people think it's the glamour and glitz of being in professional sports, but there are long-hour days, and our days and hours are dictated by the schedule in a lot of ways.
With the travel, with the crazy hours. I got here at 7 a.m. this morning. I will probably not leave till after midnight. And sure, it's tough sometimes, but it's so exciting, and there are still moments where this job gives me goosebumps. In a big moment, a big call, the stadium is rocking. That's priceless. That's an amazing feeling, and I don't think there are many jobs that you can find that give you that type of feeling and that type of emotion.
We bus literally from after the game. If the game starts at 7, generally over by 10:30. If it's a road trip day, then we're on a bus about 12:30 traveling overnight. We have a sleeper bus and we have a regular 54 passenger bus. So our guys travel as best you possibly can on the road.
Every league's a bus league until you get up to AAA, and when you count the way that they do their flights up there, they're almost even longer. But no, we've managed to do pretty well through it. Kincaid and the Sod Poodles have done an amazing job of putting us up, giving us a sleeper bus where we can have almost 18 or 20 cots mixed in there for the long trips, like the 10 to 12 hour trip to Corpus Christi. But bus league, it's just a part of minor league baseball. You might have to ride for 10 hours and get in at 8 a.m. and be at the field within 3 hours and find a way to be competitive and successful there. But you just have to remind yourself that everybody else is having to do it at the same time.
When we're at home and when we're on the road are usually two different things. I'll tell you about when we're at home. I usually get here sometime in the morning. Every day is a little bit different. Start getting ready for the game that night. So that entails getting my scorebook ready, getting our interviews ready, cutting the audio and the video the night before that I need to cut and get ready, and all the content we post. There's a lot of different things because I consider myself more than just a play-by-play broadcaster and more than just doing our games on radio and TV.
We had so many people that wanted to be our radio broadcaster. So we literally had hundreds of resumes and tapes and videos to go over. It had to be someone who was strong in social media. It had to be someone who was strong in video. It had to be someone who was a student of the game, really studied and got all the stats and knew how to work the inside stories, and really just had a culture and understanding of the culture of the game, but had all this technical side along with it as well. And so we had our finalists of those 100 people were 5 people, and they all would have been extremely successful at being the inaugural broadcaster for the Sod Poodles. But there was something about Sam and the way he delivers the game.
It's getting here early and getting stuff done on the video side, the audio side, as far as interviews and social media content. I'm really active on social media. And then as the day goes on, the players get here, you go down to the clubhouse, get the lineups, talk to the players, go on the field for batting practice, talk to the guys, find out what's going on. 6 o'clock rolls around, 6:25 rolls around, I go down on the field to have my pregame show down there, come up here, have my radio pregame show. And the beautiful thing about baseball is it's every day, and at 7:05, here comes the pitch. And the game's underway, and away we go. And until the final pitch of the night is thrown, and until my radio postgame show is over, I go. I know it was a couple of hundred applicants. These minor league baseball broadcasting jobs, believe it or not, are coveted. They're really special. A lot of people want them, and I was super lucky to get hired here in Amarillo, and here I am. Out of all my options for 2019 and the next step I was trying to take on the baseball side of my career and in broadcasting in general, it became really clear that Amarillo was the best place for me, and they offered me the job.
We were with the San Antonio Missions, and we weren't quite sure where we were going to go at first. We had 2 other possible options, I think, with Chattanooga and Pensacola, and obviously Amarillo was going to bringing up a new affiliate, but it could have been between a couple different affiliated teams that could end up here. And when I found out we were coming here, I was really excited about it, just because whenever something's new, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz, and it really makes it a lot more of an exciting experience to play in.
To come to Amarillo and create something from new, that's what brought me here. So having that opportunity to build a new ballpark from the ground up, build a staff from the ground up.
Ballpark's great. The field staff does a great job of keeping it all together, and considering what they had to do and the amount of time they had, this place looks incredible. It's a lot of fun. Obviously, probably the biggest thing I've learned before coming here that I didn't know about is that this is a hitter's ballpark, plain and simple. It doesn't matter who's hitting the ball. You can see the ball fly an extra 30 to 75 feet depending on the day. The wind blows out to center and sometimes left field as well. We've got 325-foot short porches down the lines, and with that, coupled with 3,000-something foot elevation, this is a place, if you like seeing home runs, this is a good place to be. For me, not so much, but I've been grinding along and staying unscathed so far.
What's your best pitch?
Whichever one gets the guy out that time. Me personally, as a pitcher, I don't have a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and I don't have a wipeout slider. I'm a pitcher, not a thrower, so I pretty much figure out whatever I can do to try and have just a little bit of an edge that day and find success. And it's a lot more stressful, a lot more difficult, but it's that much more rewarding.
I tell my owners all the time, it's like nothing I've ever seen. We're doing things here in Amarillo with a market size about 210, 220,000. You go out to the metro, you may get out to 350,000. We're averaging right around 6,000 people a game against markets in the Texas League that have over 1 million people, some well over 5 million people in their markets. And we're going toe-to-toe with them. And I think that's because this community has embraced this team.
And this stadium gets loud, and these fans are really into it. So a big moment, a walk-off home run, we've had a couple of those, a big play, a big strikeout, you get that feeling, you get that emotion, and those goosebumps come back.
Right now, it's time to Sod Poodle up. We need everybody to stand up. So put your hands together. Isaac's going to get us ready with our 2 magic words. Isaac, ready? 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Hashtag bring the one dance.
So the song came about when they released the names, and everybody got real upset about us, potentially being stuck with goofy names. I took a liking to the name Sod Poodles because I thought it was hilarious and the kids would probably like it. And I play music with a group of cowboys the first Friday of each month, and one of them, the steel player, Stacy Scheller, he knows I like to write goofy topical songs. He was like, man, you got to write the Sod Poodle Song. And so he kind of put me up to it, and that Saturday I wrote the first half of it, and I actually sent it to him, and he told me to add the stuff at the end. So had it cranked out on Sunday and put it out on YouTube with the vision of getting people to vote for the name. I thought it was kind of a cool, clever tune, so I thought it would work. I didn't know they were going to pick the name, and once they did, I thought, man, we got to get this thing played in the ballpark. I kind of wanted to make it the Go Cubs Go of Amarillo. So the goal was to make it work. I didn't really expect it to, but it did. So when they chose the name, my song had kind of a footing online. It had an online presence, and the team knew about it. And I went to the big name reveal and talked to Tony Enzer, and he told me, hey man, I'd like to incorporate that song into the games. And so I took it upon myself to do the professional recording and kind of pitched it to him. They play it for 7,000 people every 7th inning, which is awesome. I have been encouraged by a lot of people to do more music. Thinking more seriously about trying to give a go at it, but I got a lot of other stuff going on in town too. It gets stuck in my head. My 19-month-old son, he'll come up to me with the Bluetooth speaker and say, "Poodles, poodles," because he likes it so much, which is basically the goal of all music, to, bring joy to the kids. I've got other goofy ones that would get stuck in your head if I had a platform to play them. All right, this one's called the Sod Poodle Anthem. It ain't just like a little yipping dog, a little bit smaller than a big groundhog. They run real wild and they smile all the time. They used to be called prairie dogs, but that won't work for AA ball when it's the bottom of the 9th and the game is on the line. They are the Sod Poodles, that's right, they're called the Sod Poodles. When you come to our rough and rugged town, you might laugh and point and say, oh lordy, man, their name's insane. But you won't be laughing when you get beat down by the Sod Poodles, that's right, they're called the Sod Poodles. You won't be laughing when you get beat down by the Sod Poodles, that's right, they're called the Sod Poodles. Cheer them on so they don't stay underground. So grab a beer, a couple hot dogs, kick your legs back, maybe catch a foul ball, cheer on them pups, and man, they sure are good. And And when the 7th comes, stand up and stretch, eat a big old pretzel without regrets. Them pups will win just like we knew they would. They are the Sod Poodles, that's right, they're called the Sod Poodles. You better be careful when you're driving into the wind, 'cause our race will go for 15 Ks, a couple homers from our big DH. Them Sod pups, man, they sure know how to win. They are the Sod Poodles, that's right, they're called the Sod Poodles. Them Sod pups, man, they sure know how to win. They are the Sod Poodles, that's right, they're called the Sod Poodles. Them Sod pups, man, they sure know how to win. So when them Rough Riders ride into Hodgetown, they better watch out for them holes in the ground. Them Sod Poodle homes will break their legs in two. Little arms, long teeth, laughing at you. And them oil-filled drillers from that Oklahoma town, man, they'll go cross-eyed and crazy chasing them pups round and round. When the 9th inning comes, it's 11-3. And the Poodles put the drillers out of their misery. So if you're rooting for a team in that Texas league, it's gotta be the one up in Yellow City. You might lose your ball cap in the southwestern wind, but man, them Sod Poodles, man, they sure know how to win. They are the Sod Poodles, that's right, they're called the Sod Poodles. Them Sod Poodles, yeah, they sure know how to win. They are the Sod Poodles, that's right, they're called the Sod Poodles. Them Sod Poodles, yeah, they sure know how to win. They are the Sod Poodles, that's right, they're called the Sod Poodles. Them Sod Poodles, they sure know how to win. How about them Sod Poodles?